The early 1800s, a family living in the rural Tennessee was terrorized by a malevolent entity known as the Bell Witch. The legend of the Bell Witch has fascinated people for nearly 200 years and has been the subject of countless books, movies, and documentaries. But the true story of the Bell Witch is far more terrifying than any fiction. It is a story of tragedy, terror, and unexplained. This is the story of the Bell family and the haunting that would change their lives forever. What she did to them was horrifying, and she might still be around. The Bell Witch, or the Bell Witch haunting, is a legend of South American folklore centered around the 19th century Bell family in northwestern Robertson County, Tennessee. Farmer John Bell Sr. lived with his family along the Red River near the present town of Adams. According to the legend, between the years 1817 and 1821, his family and surroundings were attacked by a mostly invisible entity that could speak, influence the physical environment, and change form. According to some accounts, the spirit was also clairvoyant and could travel long distances at superhuman speeds and be in more than one places at once. In the year 1894, newspaper editor Martin V. Ingram published his book called Authenticated History of the Bell Witch. In his book, An Authenticated History of the Bell Witch, author Martin V. Ingram revealed that the poltergeist was named as Kate, as the entity at one point claimed to be Old Kate Batts the Witch, and continued to prefer that name. She claimed that she was a former neighbor and she believed that John treated her unfairly on a land deal. All the physical action and poltergeist activity was centered on Bell's youngest daughter Betsy and her father, with Kate expressing particular displeasure when Betsy became engaged to a local called Joshua Gardner. The hauntings began sometime in the year 1817 when John Bell saw a strange dog-like creature appear in the woods. Bell shot the animal, but it disappeared. At the same time, Drew Bell, John's son, approached an unidentified bird sitting on top of the fence, which flew away and was of unusual size. Also, the daughter Betsy noticed a girl in a green dress swinging from an oak branch. The unusual sightings didn't stop here, and the slave of the Bell family called Dean said he was followed by a large black dog on nights when he visited his wife. Soon the action moved to Bell's household, where bangings could be heard from the doors and the walls. The family started to hear bites in the beds, invisible dogs fighting, and chains being dragged on the floor. Around this time, John Bell began experiencing facial paralysis. The phenomenon intensified very quickly, and the sheets were being pulled from the bed while the children were sleeping, pulling off hair and scratching the children, paying particular attention to Betsy, who was being bitten, pinched, and pinned. The Bells, in a dire situation, turned to a family friend called James Johnston for help. James agreed to help his friend out and suggested he would stay at their home for a night and see for himself. After retiring for the evening at Bell's home, Johnston awoke at the same night to the same phenomena. That morning, he told John Bell that it was a spirit, just like in the Bible. Word of the ghost soon spread like a wildfire, and people started traveling long distances just to see and experience the witch. Many of them got lucky when the witch appeared in front of them. When asked, "Who are you and what do you want?" the apparition softly answered, "I am a spirit. Once I was very happy, but I was troubled." The spirit also offered various explanations for its appearance, linking its origin to the disturbance of an American burial mound property, and sent Drew Bell and Bennett Porter on a futile search for the buried treasure. When perfect conversations took place, the spirit repeated verbatim two sermons delivered at the same time 13 miles apart. The group was well versed in the biblical text and seemed to enjoy religious controversy. As another form of entertainment, the witch shared gossip about offspring of other households and sometimes appeared in the homes for a while after investigation. John's friend, James Johnston, devised an experiment for the witch that no one outside his family would know about. He asked the entity what his Dutch grandmother would say to slaves in North Carolina if she thought they had done something wrong. The witch in turn answered in her grandmother's accent, "Tutti, what happened now?" At another account, an English woman stopped by and offered to investigate. After noticing her family abroad, the witch suddenly began to imitate her English parents. Again, early in the morning, the witch woke her up in the anxious voices of her parents because they too heard her voice. The woman left quickly that morning and later wrote to the Bell family that the entity had visited her family in England and apologized for her skepticism. From time to time, the spirit showed acts of kindness, especially to John Bell's wife, Lucy. The witch gave Lucy fresh fruits and sang her hymns and paid tribute to John Bell Jr. This entity used to call John Bell Sr. Old Jack and claimed that she intended to kill him, expressing her intentions with curses, threats, and trials. The story culminated when John Bell died after falling into a coma. The family found a vial of poison in the room, and the Bell witch was allegedly proud to claim responsibility for forcing him to drink it. This entity later interrupted the mourners by singing drinking songs. In the year 1821, Betsy Bell finally called off her engagement to Joshua Gardner. Apparently, having finally achieved what she wanted all along, the entity informed the family that it would leave, although she promised to return someday. She apparently wasn't lying because John Bell Jr. said she visited him 7 years later in the year 1828 and told him a number of secrets, including a prediction of civil war. Not only strange things continued to happen on the property, but the activity also spread to the cave behind the farm. The witch supposedly resided there. Some people claim that there was never a witch at all, but it was simply someone else trying to force the breakup between Betsy and Joshua. Finally, Betsy ended up marrying Richard Powell, her old school teacher, who took a liking to her years earlier. Strangely, it wasn't long after they first met that the creepy activity started. Richard was rumored to be an oculist, and in 1821, around the same time that Betsy broke off her engagement, Richard's wife mysteriously died. Whether Richard was behind the devious hauntings remained to be seen. Even to this day, the Bell Witch is said to be the cause of other unexplainable sights and sounds around the property. While the Bell farmhouse may not be around anymore, there is a recreation of the cabin and other attractions at the Bell Witch Cave. In conclusion, the legend of the Bell Witch remains an enduring mystery that has captivated audiences for generations. The haunting of the Bell family has left an indelible mark on American folklore and popular culture. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, the tales of the Bell Witch continue to intrigue and send chills down our spines. The unexplained phenomena, the encounters with a malevolent entity, and the tragic fate of the Bell family have all contributed to the enduring fascination surrounding its haunting. The Bell Witch reminds us that there is still much in this world that we do not fully understand, and that sometimes the line between reality and the paranormal is eerily blurred. So, as the story of the Bell Witch lingers in our minds, let us contemplate the possibility that there are forces beyond our comprehension, lurking in the shadows, waiting to reveal their secrets. If you are into paranormal and like this video, I would suggest you another video about the ghost ship, the Flying Dutchman. I'll leave the link in the description. If you like my content, you can also show your support by giving this video a like and subscribing to my channel. We'll see you guys soon in my next video.